This is the High School Crossfire. Welcome back.
Resolved, our resolution states that this House believes that the lack of what? Urban planning has led to the what? Increased rate of floods in Kampala. The second negator came here and accused us of saying that we do not know the number of what? Of the people in Kampala. We did not actually say that. We clearly stated that the government is not bankrupt. This is why we carry out what? Population census. Why do we carry out population census? It is to record the number of people for proper planning. So if we are recording the number of people for proper planning, why can't the plans be what? Be made. They're talking about the resources being minimal. Yes, the resources may be minimal due to the increase of what? Of the people. But still, we are talking about planning here. As our farmers, we are talking about the failure of the companies responsible for planning for the city to plan for them. We are not talking about the lack of infrastructure. Yes, the infrastructure might be there, but we are talking about their failure to plan. They are planning inadequately. We talked about them not considering the weather patterns of the area they are planning for. They are not considering the landscapes. For example, Nachivubo, it's located in
Have plans like the drainage management plan worked?
Pardon?
Have plans like drainage management plan worked?
Not fully. Clearly, they have not worked fully because of the occurrence of what? Of floods recently. These plans are not working because they are not making them basing on the current status of the what? Of the city. The city is having floods because the urban planners have failed to plan adequately for the what? For the city. We are not talking about population increase here. As well as it might be a factor, we are not considering it right now. We are considering the fact that these guys have failed to do their job, to plan adequately. We are talking about the fact that they are constructing in places where they're just considering financial value. They are considering the interests of the investors. They're considering the profit they're going to get from this, but they're not considering that this area is not as prone to floods as the other area is. We talked about the narrow, how do they call them? Sorry. We talked about the narrow trenches. These trenches are narrow. Why? Because they have not planned for them very well. They're not planning where to put them. They just come and be like, oh, this area is suitable for this plan. So they put it there, but they are not clearly drawing a sketch of the city and understanding that this area is more prone to floods than this one. So let's put this facility here and let's put this here. We as the farmers, we are saying that yes, floods are the problem we are trying to solve here, but what are we putting the blame on?
Nsunji Mariam is my name, negative side. We as the negators are blaming the influx of people into Kampala, not the lack of urban planning. First of all, I want to remind you, the farmers came and told us that the people responsible for the planning have not done it, or they have done it to as a rate that it is not sufficient. But we are showing you that the people that are responsible for planning have actually done the planning. For example, the drainage management plan that was implemented in 2015. The plan worked 2015, 2016, 2017, and 2018. But due to the number of people that keep coming into Kampala, the plan reached an extent and it was not enough. That is why the KCCA and people like the government sat and made a new plan. The other example is, I asked them, they said that they are letting people that are not supposed to construct buildings where they are not supposed to be. But then we are showing you that they are letting people like Miss Chigundu construct stadiums to cater for the number of people that is in Kampala, which is increasing day by day. We're showing you that these people have actually done the plans, but due to the number of people, the things have not, yes?
When was the last population census carried out?
It was in 2024.
Thank you very much.
So, we are showing you that these people have actually done the plans. They come and tell us that the people responsible for the plans are doing an insufficient job. But we are telling you that the numbers are too many. The number of people that keep coming into Kampala are too many. They tell, from UBOS, they show us that the annual rate is 4.6. So 4.03% increase in Kampala. So these people that are responsible for the plans actually plan for the 4.03 increase. But then we are showing you that from 2024 to 2025, there's a 5.61 increase in the number of people coming into Kampala. So we are showing you that there is a higher increase in the number of people in Kampala than the people actually planned for. So if this number of people were not the people coming into Kampala, then the plans would have been implemented, done perfectly, perfectly, unlike what they claim that the plans have not been done. So they come and tell us that these guys, that the people responsible for planning have not done it, and they tell us that the urban planning is not enough. But we are showing you that in Kampala right now, you cannot walk on a road, you cannot find a road that shows no plan, that shows not plan is there. For example, the Queensway that has flooded recently on 26th March 2025. We're showing you that the Queensway has a very well planned drainage system. It has everything ready, but due to the number of people in Kampala who increase the number of wastes in Kampala, the people that are going to increase the number of resources that they are using and therefore increase the number of wastes, which are going to block the passages, this is what has actually led to the floods that are increasing. So we are here to show you that the high influx of people in Kampala is actually the cause of the increased flooding, rather not the lack of urban planning. Why? The lack of urban planning is not there, because the lack of urban planning has been proved to actually be there. Just an example of the drainage management plan shows that they actually planned. It worked for a whole 4 years, but due to the number of people that keep coming into Kampala, the plan actually reached an extent and it could not control the number of people in Kampala, which is what they term as the uncontrolled development of a city. So we are telling you that the lack of urban planning does not stand, rather the number of people that keep coming into Kampala, which cannot be controlled. You cannot control the number of people that come into a city or a country, but rather these people have been educated. You have seen that my first and second speaker came and told you that these people have been educated. They have advertised on TVs, they have advertised on radios, they have actually put up banners, posters everywhere to show you that you're not supposed to do this. But the people are too many, rather the planning bodies like KCC and the government have done their jobs of putting up the banners, putting up the posters, actually taking the responsibility of collecting rubbish from the different places in Kampala and taking it where it's supposed to be. But the people in Kampala are too many. That is why the floods are increasing.
This is the High School Crossfire. We'll be back in a minute.